I always felt growing up in the United States that the Vietnam War was still an American obsession.
That's cinema.
And so for those of us who are Vietnamese, our place in this American story is very complicated.
The Vietnam War has always been told from the American point of view.
Usually when the war ends, the show or the movie ends. But for the Vietnamese refugees on the Sympathizer, that's when the real story begins.
Mình đang đi đến một nơi tốt đẹp hơn, sang nước Mỹ.
This is the first time that we get to tell all stories through the Vietnamese perspective.
Like in the show, we have cast members that exiled Vietnam through the aircraft. We have those exiled through fishing trawler. That's how I came to America, really.
It was important for the authenticity of the story. We cast Vietnamese actors in Vietnamese roles.
HBO sent out a worldwide casting call.
A lot of the cast have a real life parallel to the script.
제가 그 배우들로부터 직접 들은 경험담이 거기서 영향을 받은 이 쇼를 할 수 있겠습니다.
It was such a sense of we're making good trouble in an area where there wasn't an area.
Because of the responsibility that we knew we had to carry in telling these stories, it was really easy to build that rapport.
Một người vì mọi người, mọi người vì một người. 2, 3, yo!
It was very important that as much of the dialogue as possible had to be in Vietnamese.
Our actors, about 4 are fluent speakers. The rest are not so fluent, maybe like conversational. Definitely the biggest challenge is for Hoa, who plays Captain. He is not only Australian, that has to do an American accent, but a non-fluent Vietnamese speaker that needs to be fluent.
Bạn nghĩ mình đang chờ gì? Tao nói về thằng gián điệp.
Every time there's new words that he doesn't understand, he drills it for at least 3 days to just memorize it.
And he tried to find another word that sounds familiar with the word that he stuck
like
with.
A rhyming word.
He's one of the hardest working actors.
Làm gì có tiêu chuẩn nào để đánh giáp, đánh... Làm gì có tiêu chuẩn nào để đánh... sorry. Làm gì có tiêu chuẩn nào để đánh giá đúng sai, bánh lớn, bánh nhỏ. Miếng ngon là được rồi. It's just a lot of sleepless nights.
A lot of attention is being paid to the authenticity of how we talk.
In our flashbacks, the original translation of the kids teasing Captain is mongrel, half-breed, and freak. In Vietnamese, the way kids tease each other, it's not calling out names like that. Usually it's kind of like a rhyming sort of scheme. So we came up with thằng chó lai, hai lô đất. Half-breed with 12 buttholes. The word lai, which means mix, and the word hai, which means two, rhyme.
Here we go, ready, and action!
The set, the production design traveled me right back to Vietnam.
I can even smell my mother's cooking.
We're recreating Saigon of 1975 and late 70s. So we have period cars and period buildings.
I remember walking into Mun's office, and it's like walking inside like a time portal. The ceiling fan, the posters, the tile on the ground. I had this tile when I was a kid.
There's a scene in the liquor store. I don't know if you know this, but Vietnamese people love Hennessy. I don't know why it's a thing, but when we came there was almost no Hennessy bottles. And then someone mentioned it, and the next day we came back, there was some Hennessy bottles.
Even the tiny, tiny props, the lighter, the altar, the food, they just put so much detail and attention into them.
Con ra đằng sau đừng đi. Không. Wow. Con mặc váy ngắn ở hang vậy mà đòi đứng hàng đầu à? Có muốn cả thế giới nhìn thấy đùi con không? Đi mau lên. The wardrobe is from the actual era down to the very minute, every little thing.
When we were recreating the OEI for our Vietnamese ladies, we were sourcing our vintage silks directly from Vietnam because they had a very specific pattern, a very specific weight.
I look at the pictures of my mom before. It's actually exactly like the thing she wore. It does bring back a lot of memories, yeah.
In the background of the scene, our director requested that we have 15 women in their white OEI, which would be schoolgirls at that era. I actually worked with our wonderful shopper in Vietnam to source the white OEIs in Vietnam, making sure that our schoolgirls looked exactly right.
The clothes that I wear are precisely what was worn back then by generals. The hat is a real military cap.
accuracy across the board was really important.
One of the scenes I had to come into the house. The camera team was saying, why is it taking so long for you to get here?
Bài tập cho giáo sư Hammer.
My muscle memory was making me take off my shoes when I was entering. So they liked that and they decided to shoot an insert of me just doing that to show that that's part of the culture.
The war's over. It's done. Even the Americans couldn't defeat the communists. Wars never really die. They just hold their breath.
This show, it's not so much about the war, it's about the aftermath, the war that's happened in people.
I lost everything to this country. I'll get it all back.
Every character is coming from somewhere and is going somewhere.
It's a new world here. You can go anywhere, climb to any heights.
A show like this can give a deeper appreciation of a perspective that Vietnamese people predominantly haven't seen before about their history.
The pain that our people went through in the past got us here. Now we have this chance to tell the story and to take pride in it.